Hey
All
Steve.
right, all right. What's up?
Steve, my TV's not on this time.
I know, first time though.
Wow. I see a new page on the Slack.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, did Steve see it though?
See it, Steve?
No, I didn't.
Right, the Slack open. There's a new channel right here. What is that one called? See that?
Oh my God. I did not see that. Oh my God.
That's our new bullshit page.
Nice.
All right. So I'm super excited for today's Canvas brainstorm because this is we're gonna do like line 39. So this one I feel like is something like tangible. I've kind of done research in this market this week, and I'm excited to like talk about it. I think this one has real potential for us. So the initial idea was to make smart home electronic devices to monitor home sustainable use. So that's making sure that we are sustainable in our water use, waste, anything coming out of like our outlet, how much electricity we're using, how much water out of the shower head, faucet, how much waste is going into our trash can, all that stuff, essentially quantifying it. That was the initial idea, and we can make a Canvas brainstorm off of that. So initial idea is here, and then what problem are we trying to solve or opportunity are we looking to capitalize on?
Trying to solve a
So
waste problem.
yeah, so my first thought was like this, we're not even fixing it, we're just monitoring um, waste, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're trying to solve like the waste problem though by monitoring it and giving visibility to it.
Okay, so do you think this is more of a monitoring waste is the first step, or do you think the first step would be like, or the first what of the problem would be fixing our waste issue?
Yeah, I mean, I guess monitoring it, I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
just thinking like if our issue is trying to fix a waste issue,
yeah,
then that opens up everything else. Like, how can we do that? By monitoring it, by doing this, by doing that.
I don't think
right.
we're able to completely get rid of waste, but I think if we're able to monitor it and then find ways to then reduce it, even reducing it slightly is a big impact on our environment. So just the mere fact that we're able to quantify it, I think, because you don't know how much water you're running when you're just like leaving the faucet on when you're brushing your teeth, right? But if you're able to
Yeah.
put a number to it, you can be like, dang, I'm wasting 3 gallons of water, for the 5 minutes that I brush my teeth or whatever. Like that could be a way to change behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. One thing that I think of, I was in a quality engineer for a while, and one of the first steps for like a system, an engineering system, is like you quantify it, and at that point, that's when you can really go after and figure out where the most waste is coming from, how to fix that. So even like with your personal life, like say um, everybody thinks that you're an asshole, but you don't know that you're an asshole until you start monitoring it. Once you start monitoring when you are an asshole, that's when you can actually make that change. You can't make that prior to you finding out when you're the asshole. So I think this would be like the big thing for me with this whole thing was like we push all of the sustainable green stuff outside of the consumer, and we say, hey, these big businesses are doing this, hey, these are doing this, but we haven't really looked at ourselves and said like, what are we doing that contribute towards waste, water, pollution, all that stuff? Because like even us having our lights on right now, that's contributing to some sort of like electrical and light pollution. Why don't we use like candles instead? You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's hard to look at ourselves, and this would almost start that. I think we all need to do that as a society. I think this would, yeah.
I guess just what I was trying to say was like, I feel like monitoring it is one of the steps to solving it and is not actually what you're solving, is what I was trying to say for that.
Monitoring is one of the steps to solve it.
Like, you're trying to solve a waste issue. You're not trying to solve a monitoring waste issue. Like, monitoring waste is one of your steps to solve that issue, I guess.
I get you. So
I
like,
was just, yeah.
yeah, well, so like with that, that's a good point because I guess the monitoring waste would almost be the idea
Yeah.
that you would make like a user need around. And what you could do is like you're trying to open up that like market so that we can attack it from multiple different idea brainstorms. If
Hmm.
you open up that problem in that way, you could then say like what problem we're trying to solve is the inability to grasp our impact on the environment. Something like that. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Um, I had a fun idea with this. I don't know if we're like. I think we're talking about more like physical products, but I was like, how cool? Like it's hard to really grasp the impact of like climate change on us, and everybody's kind of like, oh, how bad will it be, kind of stuff. And it'd be fun to like make a podcast where you like come up with these kind of scenarios of the world in 50 years and be like, all right, so and pretend like you're in the future just to kind of like give like a ground eye approach of like how it would actually be like, okay, so like we just lost India, all these homes are now gone, refugees are moving up, kind of like a news channel but like in the future, or like a talk channel but in the future, and it would just be all like fiction.
We can
It'd
talk
be kind of
about the
fun.
world that's gonna be gone.
Yeah, yeah, you could. It would be kind of depressing. I don't know. Maybe you can make it fun. So does that make sense? The what problem? Inability. Is there a better way of saying that?
No, I think that's good.
Okay. And this is so the urgency of this. I think it's a game changer. I think, um, like even if we go along, like it's kind of hard to pull myself out of the monitoring mindset for the product, but like you kind of pull yourself back from that. Even just say we go down the monitoring path, that opens up a tons of new markets where you have like trash cans, shower heads,
Yeah.
electrical outlets, all that stuff. And then you can even pull yourself back even more, like you were saying, Sean, and like how do you even past like all this what we just talked about, like how in other ways how can you grasp the impact of you on your environment? You could even make this psychological in a way as well. You can make this person to person along with person to environment that the person lives in. You know what I mean?
Mm.
How to be more conscious towards the people around you and things around you. Cool. Why us? What do you guys think?
Mm. I mean, if we go down the route of making products, then it's like we're engineers, product engineers.
Um,
If we go down like a education thing, Steve's a comm major, so
yeah, yeah,
Say
and which I think is super important to figure out how to properly convey this risk and how to influence people to do this, move this
mhm.
way. Passion. Why do we care about this? And why do we want to go through the trouble of this?
I want the world to survive.
Uh,
We gonna die.
I guess existential problem. um, I'm trying to think, because I'm trying to say, like, it's almost like an existential problem that, like, I don't think anybody's taking responsibility for. You know what I mean?
You just broke up a little bit.
No idea what you mean.
To the freaking robots.
Yeah.
I feel like it's an existential problem that nobody is taking responsibility for.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna get goofy real quick, okay? But say like, we've had private talks about this, but like, say that, like, there is no thing as like a person. Say that like you are just like copies of every single person in the world, but you just think that you're different than those people. Like, you're really, like, consciousness is one, right? That's what I'm saying. So it's almost like you would have to admit that you've been here since the beginning of time, but that means that you caused this climate change problem. And sometimes I think, like, what if that's what if that's true? What if we all think that we're individuals, but we're really a whole thing? And so that means that we're all at fault for this. And I feel like nobody's like taking it upon them. I mean, a lot of people have. I wouldn't say that, but I think a lot of times it's like, oh, you need to fix this. You need to fix the energy problem. You need to do this. And I'm just like, I'm doing the problem. That's kind of how I think about this sometimes. You know, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people don't take the responsibility as a consumer that they're causing this.
Hmm. I think the conversation that you're having earlier about like pushing it to corporations, it's like a lot of the pollution is done by like big corporations and stuff. So, I mean, I guess it's like people would rather see the big players in doing it get some like repercussions rather than them completely change their lifestyle just to try and make a dent in it.
Yeah, but yeah, and it's kind of, it's that whole idea that I shouldn't vote because my vote has no impact because there's people bigger than me that are causing the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I don't know if that's like the best analogy. It'd be like if somebody else had like 100 votes and you only had one, and you're like, well, why am I going to vote when they get 100 votes?
Because you have like thousands of one votes.
I
That's
mean,
kind of,
yeah,
yeah, that's kind of my thought, and I think that's why, like, even just AC, we do that, and that's a big problem with climate change. Having the lights on, having cars, and not riding your bike to work. You know, like leaving the TV on, leaving the water on, all that stuff. Like, I feel like if you do that over your life, like, you know how many hours over every single moment of your life where you like sleep and you see that build up into like months and years that you're sleeping. I
hmm.
think of that same impact on like waste as well. I
So I
don't
don't
know.
know if you've seen like this is like a whole separate conversation. We could have like
Sure,
a
this
whole
is
other
cool.
podcast about it. But like, I don't know if you've seen the numbers about like how much fuel like a shipping contain like a what do you call them? Like
Cargo.
the big, yeah, like a cargo ship, the amount of waste that they create just in one passing of like the Atlantic or something,
Yeah.
compared to like you'd have to live like 100,000 lifetimes or something to like make the same amount of waste. So like
Right.
it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
put it into your own perspective when like things like that are happening.
Well, and so I think that's really an aspect, and like that's why this idea is a game changer, because it opens up so many new markets. Because you can say, like, okay, you spend so much money, or you spend um, so much waste on having these ships go from like port to port, and that's transporting your goods, your food, your Amazon shipping, China, a lot of products from China. You're contributing to that in a small way, and if you can create goods and products that are like minimal or exactly what you need and something that's going to last you a lifetime, there's not really a need to buy these cheap plastic products which last you until the next one comes out. And it would really be like, I think a market that's not touched right now is figuring out like, what exactly do you need to have a productive and happy life? Can you just buy that set, buy this, and just run with it, like almost like a car? Like we can run with a car for 15 years if you're satisfied with it. Why can't you make like home goods in the same way? I feel like there's lack there, you know. There's something, I don't know what it is, but I think there's something there. But
it boils down to capitalism, like planned obsolescence and all that. So
yeah, and I think that's what we would be tackling. And I think it's time that someone does do that. And there's nothing wrong with capitalism. It's just that like it has limitations, and we need to solve something similar to like how Elon Musk solved the Tesla problem, which it tackles like an environmental problem by speaking to what a person wants. A person wants a nice, badass car. And at the same time, you can reduce pollution and fuel, then you're tackling two birds with one stone. And if we can think like that, of like, maybe you like market a product and you say like, hey, like you feel like your life's not good enough, like you feel like you're not purposeful, driven, like let's get you on the right path. All you need are these, get rid of everything else, like focus on fit, you know, like that kind of mentality behind it. Like what is your purpose in your life? Your purpose in your life is not to contribute more waste to society and be a net positive rather than a net negative. And you do that with your waste, and you also do that with the amount of impact that you put onto the environment, or the impact on your society. So let's figure out how to reduce your impact on the environment and maximize your impact on the society. That would be the point. That'd be dope.
yeah.
So, but I think we're all passionate about this for sure. What are your guys' reasons? Existential problem? What else? Do you like making products? That's kind of what I'm thinking. Building things with your hands.
Creating stuff.
What about you, Steve?
I think this would be tied to a kind of a more general, like educational thing, where we're using the data that we're collecting to then teach people how to be more sustainable, and we can partner with, you know, different brands and collaboration to be able to do something like that. Okay. So be almost like teaching.
Yeah.
Better environmental.
Yeah. So you're like bringing in a community of outreaching to a lot of different relations and kind of saying like, hey, we're all doing this together. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. So I'll do this. Okay. So end user. Now we're going to make a category of people with similar needs and similar pains, something super specific. So I guess industries, we can do like home industry, end user, we'll work backwards. What would they use it for? Monitoring water, waste, etc. The end user for that would just be like, I want to say like a technical person. Someone, same as like a smart home user. Probably more likely male, probably our age.
Yeah, like 20 to 40.
Yeah. STEM based, college educated. Okay. Let's put this here. So that's the problem that we're trying to fix. So the idea there, you
So,
want to change this idea? Because I feel like,
well, I don't, are we doing it right? Like, go back?
yeah, yeah.
So, aren't we supposed to be listing the ideas at the bottom and then we break those into the other thing?
How did we do in the past?
Like,
Yeah, let's do that. So, can you guys see that if I zoom out there?
yeah.
Okay.
So then wouldn't this be like the first one? This is already what we were talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, can we think of another idea?
I'm just thinking like a YouTube channel where we talk about, and it kind of goes in with these electronic devices where we just say like, okay, this is how normal houses run. This is what you can do to reduce waste.
Mm.
You could also you could expand that and say just like the theme of the channel is to reduce waste, and that is like reducing waste productivity wise. That's reducing waste sustainability wise. That's reducing waste like conflict wise. Anything like that. Bettering yourself by getting rid of the bullshit.
And your idea earlier about like a podcast set in the future or something,
Yeah.
could be another one. Or do you want to add that to the same one?
Yeah. I think it's a different one.
Okay.
Project is news in the future. That'd be kind of fun.
So like I don't it's more like I guess a law or something, but kind of passing on like consumer laws to like grocery stores and stuff to make them use like more reusable things. So like if you were to go get like beans from the store, you bring like your own bag or something and then you just fill up there instead of getting like a new plastic bag full of beans every time. So I don't know how that idea would actually work, but I feel like at some places like I've seen it in like I don't even know what store it was. I saw pictures of it where like if you wanted to go get cereal or something, you bring like your own bag, you fill it up, and then it's kind of like the veggies that you just go like weigh it at the front or something like that.
Yeah.
So
And
instead of having
that
like, I mean
yeah.
that's cutting down on like obviously if you got like cereal, there's the whole carton that it comes in and the plastic bag. Now you're using the same one every time.
Yeah, and that can really flourish, I think. That's a good idea because we could be the people that say um, like, okay, what is like a balanced diet? Here are the things that you would put all those goods in, bring this to the store, have them fill it up or fill it up there. And we could like partner with like Sprouts or something like that, who are
Yeah.
like a farmer's market, and partner with them, do that. And then people will start seeing that stuff that gets bigger and bigger. And then it becomes like anything else that you'd buy.
Hmm.
Like, you know, what would you call that? Um, it's
Best
almost like
thing, I don't know.
it's almost like a utility.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
Like essential utilities. Um, it's really looking, well, it's interesting because we're talking about the waste and the water and stuff before. That's all utilities. That is the same thing, and like what is essential for your survival, figuring out those kind of things, and then building products around reducing waste around your essentials. That's kind of what it is.
I guess like my not I wouldn't say like disagreement because I still like the idea, but doing the whole like electronic devices in the home, you're just adding on more consumer products for people to buy. Whereas like with something like this, it's like you're having like a net negative, like you're taking things out of the equation.
Yeah.
You're consuming less.
How do you want to say that? Essentials?
I don't know if that embodies it. I mean, it's more of like an idea than a like I don't know. I
Let's
don't know
just
how to
keep it.
say it.
Let's just keep it with that example, and we can kind of bounce off of that. So, um, create relationship with grocery store to reduce plastic bag use by containers. Something like that.
Yeah, and I think like we could even design the system that they use to do it. Like whatever the containers are that holds everything,
Mhm.
things like that. So I mean that's another option with it.
That'd be really good, I think. And I see that as a positive where you have like your end user there is almost a grocery store because
Yeah.
they're reducing having to do that extra step of bagging it, having to buy the bags.
Yeah, it could flow like all the way up the supply chain because I mean they're gonna like the store is gonna have to get like mass product in a certain format. Like they're not getting it in box form anymore. So I mean it does add some extra complexity to the supply chain, but I mean I feel like people would go for it.
And I think you could also make the argument that the grocery stores, like in the same way, when you go to the grocery store and you say, "Hey, I forgot my bag," they're just like, "Oh, here's a bag."
Yeah, yeah.
You could say that like with us being an additional company coming in there, they can't be like, "Oh, here's an extra box." Like they're like, "Oh, you got to bring it next time."
Yeah, I mean, it would basically just be like the bags are there, the reusable bags are there that you can buy the first time, and then if you bring it the second time, you obviously don't have to buy it, and maybe you even get a discount. But it's like they're always going to be there, so I mean, that option's always there.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that makes me think of like this isn't an idea yet. It's just more of a theme, but it's like look to the supplier to reduce consumer waste.
I want to say Whole Foods already does this, like, because I feel like I've been there and I've just seen like a big old um, like containers full of like beans or whatever. But I don't know if they give you like reusable stuff to like bring in. But it like I want to say like the one that I saw was even for like shampoo and stuff like that, like not just
And
food.
then yeah, and like if it's not wide known, like if we don't know about it, I think it's not done well enough. You know,
Yeah,
I think we can say that, and or you can partner even with like an Amazon type thing. They have, I don't know, you can partner with a lot of different grocery stores. Okay, that's a good one though. Um, so where else do we have waste and we haven't grasped the impact on the environment? Um,
so I like a while ago I was looking into like doing stuff out of like hemp, like
mhm.
making things out of hemp because it's really like a versatile product. You can do a lot with it. Like you can make bags with it. You can make obviously like rolling papers if you smoke, or like you can make paper from it. So um I guess like that's I don't know. I don't know. That's just like an idea. They just make things out of hemp,
Yeah.
basically. And I guess the issue with that is like stigma, I guess, around that plant. But
It's legal in Texas as of like next year or something like that. I guess it was illegal.
yeah.
So yeah, there's stigma around it. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
But
looking at hemp, because that's a new material that has not been available to the market thus far, but it has tons of potential. So you're
yeah.
saying look at it for product potential.
Yeah, like the yield of hemp is like insane, obviously. Like if you're gonna make trees or if you're gonna make paper, like you usually just go to trees, right? I guess you
Uh-huh.
could use trees for other things, but like you basically use all of the what do you call it? Like the full product. You're not just using like a piece of it and throwing the rest away.
Okay.
So that's not necessarily like helping with grasping impact to the environment, but
Yeah.
it still relates to stuff. I don't know.
I wonder if you can make like a desk out of it, or like I don't know how like tough or like structured that you can make it, but I wonder if you can make,
Um, I think
you
you
know,
can make like rope and stuff like that. So I'm sure
well,
if
I
you got
mean,
it in the right form, you might be able to make a desk. I don't know.
that's what I'm saying. Like, rope is made from like what,
You get it into like twine, like long
which is
strands.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Something there. One thing that I was thinking, a little batty, but it's more of like it would be like a cultural change, I guess. But you would sell like lamps and stuff, or like lights, anything like that. But you would sell them with like red lighting.
Mm,
So red lit uh, electronics, and so the whole purpose behind that is like you can have fun and like start like a little movement where you say like, hey, it's not good for us to use lights at nighttime because our body needs to be in tune with the circadian rhythm, and you should only be awake at the times where it's sunlight. If you need to like be on your computer or something at night, you can go on your computer, but you still have that red light filter on your computer generally. You can say this is better for you, and then just switch all the lights to like red lights where it'll be darker in your house. It'll reduce light pollution. It'll reduce the electricity that we're using. LED red lights. But LEDs don't use too much electricity anyways, but it's more of like pollution is also it's smog pollution at the same time as light.
hmm
Be reducing light pollution. I think of that because I went camping on Friday. I went to the beach, and I have like one of those headlamps. I have the white one, and then I also have a red one when I want to get into the tent. And it's nice because like it doesn't blind anybody, and like you're kind of still in the sleep mode,
mm.
so it's convenient.
Do we want to just break into one of these, or we only got like 20 minutes?
Yeah, let's do it. Honestly, I feel like this is good. There's a lot of opportunities here, so we can. This is a good place to be.
I think
Which
the
one?
first one though is gonna give us like we're gonna be able to do a lot for that.
You guys want to pick three? I like this one.
If you want to go into it next week too, like we only got 20 minutes.
Yeah. We want to pick one more. We can hit these fast though. I think. One more. Let's do
I
red light.
mean, that one's more of a solution, I guess. Like, how would we break that one down? I guess just like camping. Like,
Or figuring out like who are the users for these.
hmm.
So you can just do that. This will be here. It's confusing. Okay. You guys want to start thinking about stuff? Write them down when you're ready. Okay, let's just start. I'll just leave it there. Okay, so we got home. You can also sell it to businesses. Like smart office, STEM-based, probably more mail, save electricity.
So I feel like I kind of disagree with the business one, just
Okay.
because like you're trying to reach it to the individuals, and like businesses, they could just monitor their full like water coming in
Yeah,
sort of thing.
yeah,
That's more for like saving money rather than like seeing a environmental impact, I guess.
right.
But I'm just saying, like, I don't think they would be looking at like individual faucets sort of thing. I think they just look at total water in or electricity in kind of thing.
Overall utility price, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're looking more at their bill.
Um, I'm sure there'd be like a certain application that would make sense for a business though.
Yeah, we'll just put it, and then yeah, I get what you're saying though. So create relationship with grocery store. Uh, let's just do, can we say create relationship with store to reduce multiple use, to increase multiple use containers.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just make it a space there.
It'd just be like consumer or like commercial industry or something like that. Or like retail, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. If you do retail, and then you do like, what would they use it for? Like keeping clothes clean and organized as they go shopping. So that would just be like one bag they can take to every single shop and just be like, here, put this in. End user, people with money for clothes. I got my freaking wardrobe and I'm set. What are the people that shop?
Everyone.
I mean, like, who shops the most? Would it be like older people? Everybody?
Said middle-aged women.
Okay. Okay. Or like, and then trendy people, because like sustainability is kind of trendy.
Mm.
It would be the
Hipsters.
Urban Outfitters. Okay, I'm good with that. And then grocery stores.
Mm-hmm. Just be
And
like
use
head of household.
households. I feel like it'd be parents.
Yeah.
I want to say like 30s.
Yeah.
Okay. What would they use it for? Why would they want to do this?
Psychological thing. You're helping with the environment.
Yeah. There's a big gain there for them though. Like there's something there helping with the environment. You could set it up potentially so that you have like cabinets. Say you have a garage and you have your fridge in there, and then you also have like cabinets with like, you could have beans and stuff like that, more of the stuff that you could preserve for a long time. You could set it up so that you could say, oh, we ran out of beans, take that out, put it in the car, Drag it to the grocery store, put it there, back to the store, boop. Like an easy container.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd almost be an aspect of like ease and organization, because you don't need to get a bag and pour it back into a new thing.
Yeah, it could be one of those things where it's just like the same container every time. You're not using the same container every time, but like you just bring your empty one in, trade it out for a full one, and go home.
Yeah. I'm thinking like reduce steps to fill your fridge. Reduce steps to like unload the groceries. Because that's a big consumer problem. You know what I mean? Like that's something there that takes time. Okay. And then you're going to basically sell a whole system with that.
Yeah, I mean, I could go to both the grocery stores and the households,
True.
setting up that system.
That's true. Like imagine you go to the store, you get your new clothes, and it's already set up so you can just go, it's in the closet, done.
Yeah. I don't know about clothes. It'd be a little more complicated.
Yeah. All right. We got 15, 14 minutes. Okay. What else do you need multiple containers of? That's good. Yeah. Good with that. We'll just do this one, and then we'll kind of comb through the other ones again. Red light electronics to reduce light pollution. So the industry. So I'm thinking like home. So like this would be someone that is like a optimizer. So you can say that someone like optimizes like health, productivity, all that stuff. Probably more male, like you could say like a type A person, like college, educated, and maybe STEM, or camping. Or you could even say like a home, like farming. Do you think they would do that? A farm type person? I don't know.
I mean, if they're farming some marijuana, they use those red lights, right? Those really hot red lights.
No, dude, those are heat lamps. Those are different.
Red though. It's red.
Yeah. Well, it's just okay. Just so we like the difference, like have you ever been in a bathroom when it has like the red light and it's just like it's super hot?
Well, I got these.
Yeah, they'd be more like that. Dude, see, you already have them, dude.
No, yeah, I have those every night, like before I go to bed. It helps.
We'll sell them to Sean.
I will buy them.
Sean.
Would it also be for people who like have trouble sleeping?
Yeah.
Right.
Insomnia.
Just say insomniacs. Insomnia people.
I don't know these words. I don't know this language. Insomniacs. You could even say like you kind of get fucked up and really go at some like mental issues there. You could be like, do you have depression? Use red lights. I mean, it's true. Like you get, if you don't sleep enough, you get a little depressed and a little
low energy.
Yeah.
You're tired all the time.
Don't be low energy.
Is there any way to retrofit any already existing like monitors with red light to reduce the blue light that's being emitted off of that? Because I think that would be a good, instead of having people buy a bunch of new stuff, like a film type thing to put over like your monitor, or like a screen to filter out the blue light, I think would be big. I know people buy the blue filter
Glasses.
glasses,
Yeah.
and that could be.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you have like a newer Windows operating system, they have settings in there that you could change it. Because
Yeah.
it's just changing the colors on your screen. So
I have it for my Mac where it reduces it to red lights, but then if I go like play video games or I'm on my TV, it's like and like it's back to the blue light.
yeah.
Yeah, I have it on this computer, so like you guys are all kind of like orangish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like when my phone gets a notification, it's just like blue.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's just like super bright, like on the table. So yeah,
Yeah.
it would be cool to have everything like uniform, right? So like if I were able
Yeah.
to put it on everything that I use daily, like a screen protector that has that.
Your phone should have it too, doesn't it?
I
It's
think I
not
just
as
haven't
Do
turned it
that? Do the
on.
Apples have them? No.
it has it. Yeah, it's just I don't think it's as like strong as a computer one can be.
Yeah.
One thing that I was thinking here, like you can say like the impact on the environment. Fuck, what was it? It's like building products with like the impact in mind. I don't know. I forgot what I was gonna say. Let me think.
Does Calypso drinking water by you?
Yeah, that's what it was. You heard that? Okay. So, like, totally, like, what I'm thinking is with this whole red light thing, like, you're redesigning how somebody thinks about the time where they get back home from work. Like, as soon as they get home from work, like, if these red lights are on, like, it's time for you to, like, make food with just the red light that you have, talk because you don't want to put on the TV because it's blue light, and then like shower or whatever and go to sleep. Like that's kind of the idea behind it. And you could really take an investigation into the habits of like a daily consumer's life and figure out how to optimize that so that they're healthier, more productive, and have less impact on the environment. And I feel like lights are one thing to look at. And I guess it kind of goes back to this idea where like reduce waste, bettering yourself. What kind of idea would be there? What if you have like goals for the week where you have like you can create a community online where like say we all create a community and say like, hey, okay, we got red lights. We're also goal oriented. So this week we're going to focus on like setting our goals. Next week we're going to focus on like doing this. Next week we're going to do that. And you know what I mean? Like just kind of get multiple people in the community on the same page so that they're more productive to helping the world. Like kind of talking about like, what do we do this week and how did we make our lives more sustainable and better? So one thing that I have a big question about is like, if the human race is going to progress and we're going to keep having cities, like our cities are the biggest polluters. So those need to change. And how do we change that without being in government? Because that's not really, it just doesn't, it's hard to do that. How do you change it from the inside out? And you almost have to like infect it like a virus and start changing yourself and then promoting that and spreading that out and then changing those people. So it's like, it would be figuring out how to change our city dweller life to be more sustainable and then to tell other people how to do that. So I guess another thing would be home. You could figure out how to grow your own food. One thing I looked up was using Aeroponics. So that's like a system that NASA, I think an engineer from NASA came up with. super sustainable, makes a lot of produce. You could grow your own food there. So I'm thinking, what else do you use on a daily basis?
Your car.
Car. So understanding the impact your car has, or like reducing that. Encouraging carpools.
The coronavirus.
Oh yeah. Fuck.
Or walking more.
Yeah.
I mean, like for me, my grocery store is a mile away. And lately, Kristen and I have been walking to the grocery store and walking back.
Mm-hmm.
That's not possible for everyone because, you know, walking back with a week's worth of food is not the easiest thing to do, especially if you're older. But
You are pretty old.
definitely, like Kristen and I buy food for like maybe like 3 days or 4 days max, and you know we'll walk back with all that stuff, and it's a mile, and it's not terrible, you know, it's 10, 15 minutes. But definitely trying to use your more sustainable forms of transportation.
Yeah.
You said, Gavin, try not to do it like with government, but I think like public transportation, which could be improved through government, like your local government.
Yeah, I think local government is more malleable than like the big government. I think, yeah, I think this type of thinking, and I think as we definitely like work on this business plan, more ideas will come up to us, and like the idea can change, right? This is the whole approach to this is to have an idea and be like, all right, now we're going to start asking people if they would buy this, that kind of thing. And then from that point, you talk to them and they're like, oh, that's cool, but what about this? And you're like, oh shit, they have the idea. And so like, it's just still the investigation portion of it. We're just finding a path to walk along now to get to the end road. Yeah, this is good. I think I'm real happy with this.
Yeah, I feel better about all these things than I did the other products that we talked about, like, to be honest.
They're all warm-ups.
Yeah.
I feel like we can't disregard them.
I'm not
They did-
disagreeing. I'm just like I feel better asking somebody about like these kinds of things than I would like
Yeah.
the whole like couch surfing thing. Like
Bro,
making
dude,
apps of that.
it was lawn surfing, okay?
Your lawn surfing.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree. Yeah. Okay. We're good. It's time. So I think next week it's going in Steve's a pledge. Dude, I just saw that before this meeting. So hey, I'm gonna note like book notes here. I need to take notes on the next thing. I'm also gonna put the book here if you guys want to take it. It's a workbook and a normal book. And then I'm just gonna label the channels based off of each step from this book. So we're still in step 1, market segmentation. And then next is the beachhead market. For what we got next is starting the decision matrix. So this is, I'll do this. Yeah, I can do this. That way we're not spending time on it. I'll put all the ideas together and then we're just going to like basically confirm that let's do that decision matrix, put all the ideas together, and then we're kind of like listing off like pros and cons of them. And then we will move with one going forward. And I think it'd be good to do the team review once we have all these ideas that we're gonna go with, which ones we like, and then figuring out, do we want to add people to the team? Do we see any resources that we lack? And then at that point, then we go into like how do we research this? How do we do the primary market research? That's on the 19th. And then after that, it's basically just market research for this next 4 weeks, and then report back with our. So this will be kind of work heavy, more work heavy than it's been. So
disclaimer, I got my final like December 10th or December 7th, something like that. So like that's gonna be right in the middle of my
yep, you're there. Well,
end of semester stuff.
Yeah, so I think as long as we just like figure out what the research plan is, what is like the expectation. So let me read into that chapter this week. I'll post the notes up so we can figure out like how much time that's really going to take, and then you can figure out how much time you need for all this stuff. Probably, I mean, for all your stuff, and then you can kind of like hand over whatever you can't do. We can figure that out.
Okay.
Dope. All right.
Cool.
Cool.
See you guys next week.
Hey.
All right. See ya.
Peace.
Bye.